and welcome to week 7 of our virtual forest school. This week Mrs. Lee and I have been on our walks looking for signs of spring, and we've got lots to share with you. If you've got signs of spring that you've been spotting out on your walks, we'd love it if you could share them with us on our Google Classroom, and we are so excited to see you all next week.
Spring is here!
It certainly is, Mrs. Ing. We are so excited to welcome you all back to school on Monday, just as the spring is springing. These lambs are here to show you just how excited we are. Can you see them jumping for joy? We hope you're looking forward to coming back too. These two little lambs are having a cuddle in the sunshine. It won't be long until you can give all those people you've been missing a really big hug. These little lambs certainly have a lot to say for themselves, don't they? I wonder what they're talking about. We can't wait to hear all your news on Monday and hear you chatting to each other all about your adventures during lockdown. These lambs have discovered their very own adventure playground. Play is such an important way for all animals, including us, to learn. We're going to make sure that you have plenty of time for play at school over the coming weeks so that you can get used to playing with each other all over again. Mrs. Lee and I are on our walk today. So we're going to do a spring scavenger hunt today, and we're going to also engage all 5 of our senses, which are, can we remember?
Can you remember them? Can you remember them? So,
See, hear, smell, taste and touch.
we're going to
Let's
see what
see.
we can find. So the first thing that we spotted were these mushrooms growing on the log. Mrs. Armstead thinks they're, what do you want to do?
I think they're called turkey tails,
They
but I
do,
wouldn't
look.
swear to it. But can you see they look a bit like a turkey's tail when they fan them out with all the stripes in?
However, the colours are amazing. There's lots of things to see, so we'll walk you through everything. But
Yeah, and fungus is a really good one to do for seeing, because we wouldn't touch it, we'd certainly never taste it, and we wouldn't even really get close enough to smell it, but it's a great thing to look at. Okay.
So we found touch. Of course, the bark is always an interesting texture, but look down here. This moss is so soft and so green, but it's really lovely to touch. I wonder what little creatures live in here. Let's see if we can find anything. It's definitely nice and warm. And oh yes, there's lots of little bugs. Keeping warm in the moss. I'll push them back.
Right. So we found something to smell, these beautiful snowdrops, which we have to be quite careful with, because actually if we ingested them they are poisonous, but we can have a good sniff and they smell wonderful. Absolutely lovely.
So just take a moment, stay still, Look up and notice what you can hear. We had the beautiful sunshine at the weekend, and I know today is slightly grey and a little bit damp, but that can help us with our sense of taste. It sounds strange, but if you can taste the air, you can taste the freshness and the rain in the air.
Can you notice the different colours here between the two types of daffodils? The bright yellow ones are Welsh, and it was St David's Day on Monday, and which is the Welsh National Day, and daffodils are their national flower. And then you've got the English ones that are slightly more pale next to it.
Two-tone, aren't they? Yes.
Yeah, they've got like, the petals are really light, and then the centre is much more yellow. Look out for all the buds on the trees, ready for the trees to spring to life. Another flower we discovered was the winter aconite, and we've got a poem about its fairy as well. Deep in the earth I woke and stirred. I said, "Was that the spring I heard?" For something called. "No, no," they said, "go back to sleep. Go back to bed. You're far too soon. The world's too cold for you, so small." So I was told. But how could I go back to sleep? I could not wait, I had to peep. Up, up I climbed, and here am I. How wide the earth, how great the sky. O wintry world, see me awake. Spring calls and comes, 'tis no mistake. Now the poem about the gorse flower that we can see here is a really funny one because it mentions about the belief that when the gorse flower isn't in bloom, kissing is out of fashion. It's a bit of a joke really because the gorse flower is always in bloom somewhere, so no fear. When gorse is out of blossom, its prickles bare of gold, then kissing's out of fashion, said country folk of old. Now gorse is in its glory in May when skies are blue. But when its time is over, whatever shall we do? Oh, dreary would the world be, with every one grown cold, forlorn as prickly bushes without their fairy gold. But this will never happen at every time of year. You'll find one bit of blossom, a kiss from someone dear.
I'm now going to read you a poem about snowdrops. I saw all these beautiful snowdrops on a walk over the weekend. The song of the snowdrop fairy. Deep sleeps the winter, cold, wet and grey. Surely all the world is dead. Spring is far away. Wait, the world shall waken. It is not dead, for lo, the fair maids of February stand in the snow.
I'm going to read you another flower fairy poem now, all about the crocus. Hundreds of them are smiling up, each with a flame inside its shining cup. By the touch of the warm and welcome sun, open suddenly, spring's begun. Dance then, fairies, for joy and sing the song of the coming again of spring. So over lockdown, we have been at home and indoors far more than any of us would like. Now we're coming out of hibernation along with the hedgehogs, the dormice, and these toads that I spotted on my walk one evening this week. I had to be very careful where I stepped because there were loads of toads all coming out for hibernation, ready for spring. So I hope that you enjoy your spring walks this weekend and that you can engage all 5 of your senses and take some photos to share with us on Google Classroom. Engaging your 5 senses is a really good way to help overcome worry and stress and anxiety. So if you find yourself worried, you can have a think about each of your senses and go through and find an example of each around you. And that should really help you. It's called grounding. So we'd love to see your photos on Google Classroom, and we're very much looking forward to seeing you on Monday. Bye. See you soon.